Good evening, good people, and welcome to another race in the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament 2021, round of 16. Tonight we have Krelen versus fryteeth. I'm Saracen, joined in the booth tonight by Nightmare Phoenix.
Hello, everyone. Told you I'd be back. And we got an awesome second game matchup here with the Krelen choosing our Blursings. Taking the first draft. He grabbed a fighter. fryteeth grabbed black belt, red mage. Krelen rounded it out with a white mage. And our Blursings for this are our fighter can wield a Thor's hammer, has extra 7 luck, but they get black mage agility, and they lose 1 MDef per level. The black belt gets an extra 20% hit, plus 10 vitality, minus 10 strength, and minus 15 agility. So that black belt is going to be huge. Red mage gets extra 40 HP, an extra 10 MDef. They lose 10 agility, and I guess that's it. Maybe they can only use thief weapons, I think. Yeah, they can only use thief weapons. White mage gets 20 strength, 10 luck. They lose 30 HP and 10 vitality. So our white mage is paper thin.
Absolutely, and I think that's going to be really one of the telling things here is how strong this black belt is looking tonight. 20% hit is a huge bonus when it comes to ramping up, getting the early grind on, and getting your late game success in just a little bit faster. It's a little bit tricky to get your damage if you don't ramp up all the way to your max hits. Normally that's 42 with the plus 20% hit. I think that drops it by 5 or 6 levels. So, we can see 37 black belts punching pretty hard, but still, you got to get your attack power up, whether that be temper or just a couple extra levels on top.
Now, with our red mage being able to have that extra MDef and some extra health, they're pretty much going to be the one that stays standing the longest. And as we take off, we're going to take a look and see that we have several heal pots already, a couple tents. Heal 3, wall, mute, and lamp in white magic. That wall might be very helpful, especially if nobody looks to find a ribbon. And we got warp fire 2 and lightning 2.
It's kind of a shame that these white magics are, the good ones are all white mage locked. So the red mage, has a very offense and warp based start here. Or the red mage does, rather. The white mage is taking the defensive tack and having some great end game spells.
Yeah. Hopefully we can find something a little bit better than these second level spells, but at least we do start with some kind of AoE spell. They're both probably going to be able to walk through Garland as long as, there goes our paper mage. As long as nothing bad happens. fryteeth opting to reset and try again. Krelen, he's fine. Just leave him on the floor. We'll pick him up later.
Paradox TXS mentioning in chat the 1 HP white mage. It is a very painful set of malices on the white mage for the beginning of the seed. Minus 30 hit points is going to set you to 1, I think, like 100% of the time. But then minus 10 vitality on top of that. Your hit point scaling is bad too.
Krelen finding an opal plus 2 shield. That's going to be great to sell off and get some early money. As far as Paradox's other question, how does Black Mage agility compare to what a fighter normally gets? I think the scaling is much worse. I think Black Mage is, I don't know, I think they tend not to get a lot of ambushes, so they're probably gonna encounter just normal fights with that fighter up at the top.
Being a Thor hammer in the top left room, which is a great pickup to smooth out the leveling, give yourself a little bit of extra utility on whichever character you choose to keep up. Krelen, putting that on the fighter for now. We'll see how long that stays there.
Well, the good news is our fighter can actually wield it, and it's not a horrible weapon to use either.
That's true, but unlimited Lightning 2 cast is a little bit better at this point, just because you don't have enough hits to make it work. Early floater,
wow.
hoo-hoo, and the
a
chime.
All right, if I would not be upset seeing an early Mirage play at this point. fryteeth having to beat down Garland the old-fashioned way, deciding to reset and try again.
That's one of the challenges of only having the one caster with damage spells and not going and picking up that Thor hammer. Is it's really easy if Garland resists the cast to just not have enough damage. But there we see fryteeth getting it down.
Finally getting through it this time. The whole party standing. He's going to save the princess, grab the floater from the king and the chime, and also be in a race to the Ryukon Desert.
Krelen looks to be taking... no, just walking around the Northway. I thought he was going to take a stop at Matoya for the chests there. But has passed the bridge boss, is on the way to Provoka.
Checking Matoya may not be a horrible idea, especially if she has an early weapon. Not only that, but she could also potentially have some more money in there. And headed to Provoka, or who knows what it could be at this point, because we do have Town Shuffle on. You want money. And it's Elfland.
Ooh, Elfland
you really
is
want
a
money
big find.
Oh,
Nuke, level 3.
Nuke. Krelen deciding, I need money, and hits the inn, and we're going to go grab a floater, take some fights on the way, hopefully be able to make some money.
So I really love the heads-up play there. Knowing that you don't have enough money to take anything from Elfland, just knowing the location is there is good enough, right? Shopping in Elfland takes forever. And we got more important business. We got a floater in hand, and we got a canoe to get down there.
Is Krelen taking the long way to get to Crescent? I thought you could keep walking south along that coastline.
I always take the river route, so if I'm wrong, I don't know. But I'm always used to taking that river route.
I'm on team #NeverRiver if you can help it. Because the river is awful. Zoas in chat asking if we have a forced war mech tonight. We do, just like last night. We have a forced war mech for these runners. Krelen in the air at 519.
That's a good feeling.
That is a great feeling.
Lefane at Crescent.
Lefane.
Ooh. That's already making me glad that we're not experiencing a repeat of last night. Having the airship in hand and not having to deal with all of the nonsense that happened in Game 1.
Absolutely. Krelen making that very early start of play, getting a power gauntlet, and it rolled up, which is not a horrible thing to find early on. It's not progression, but so far this means the floater is just convenience right now. And fryteeth going to get the bad news that Crescent is not the place he was hoping it would be. And I think Krelen might actually check Cardia for early gear and money. It's a really good idea, a good play. Picking up a Zeus Gauntlet.
So we now have 2 items that cast lightning and a sun sword.
This is looking great for Krelen.
So the one thing that I will say is it looks to me that fryteeth has taken a couple of fights on the way, more so than Krelen did, and so has a little bit more XP going currently. That could play out well in terms of dealing with some of the monster in a boxes that we're seeing here. You can see Krelen's White Mage still chilling at 1 hit point. So there's some difficulties with that particular piece.
Krelen resetting out, realizing he didn't save after picking up the Zeus Gauntlet and the Sun Sword. And we got our Haiku, which is our loot with Multi-Instrumentalist Sarah, one of our fun % flags. It's in the shop at Elfland, which I think was
on rack this time around. Yep.
And it's 14,000, so that's not difficult to get to.
Remember, chat, pay your artists. When you get a haiku from the shop, you do have to pay for that. It's not just a complimentary thing. Krelen resetting out of another box here. The monster in a boxes are a little bit dangerous at this point in the run, and it's no surprise that if one of the two standing characters goes down, it's time to bolt. So having to pick up those items again, but using the house from one of those chests in order to save the progress.
Finally locking it in. He's played that game too many times. fryteeth making this very similar play after taking a couple levels. He's going to get his Sun Sword as well, and it looks like Krelen found a Wear Sword +3 and like 13,000 gold. So he's not too far from being able to afford the haiku. Unfortunately, he doesn't know where it is yet. And also, something to note, Melman is in the vanilla location.
So I don't foresee Krelen taking terribly long to find this out. And here we see Krelen walking in, seeing Onrak in Elfland, and promptly leaving. I can't blame him.
Now,
I don't really want to be an Onrak either.
I do like what fryteeth did, and he went into Onrak and checked the shop because it's just right there, and you never know where your caravan item could be. So, fryteeth having that extra knowledge to know where a required item is going to be huge.
Of course, here's Krelen going in for the big shopping trip. The shopping trip at the beginning of the game in Elfland takes, like I said, basically forever. There's so many magic shops to check. He has to raise up the party members. But, this is theoretically with the amount of money that Krelen has picked up, this could be a one and done, which is very nice. Sometimes, Elfland can take 2 or 3 trips depending on just how much is in there.
Oh, we gotta exit the level 3 also.
Oh, that is a huge find. Ruse and Cure 3, not bad to have as well. Putting something in front of the exit boss is always a good idea. Here's our first look at a life spell, but it is White Mage locked. Oof.
You hate to see it. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you grabbed a White Mage, and still our White Mage is basically an origami person right now. fryteeth is making that long trek down to see what Lefane would be.
Not a whole lot of exciting stuff out of the armor shop here. This is kind of interesting, having both warp and exit available. It's just a matter of getting the levels to have those spell charges at this point. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple, relatively safe fights taken just to, round out where we're at.
I agree. I think what Krelen would probably do next is take this knowledge that he has so far and go down to Earth and check those Hall of Giant tiles and see if there's anything decent enough there to grind on.
fryteeth with the heads up play going to Lefane and finding Provoca with Cure 4 in the White Magic shop, and I think Lit 3 in the Black Magic shop as notable finds.
That's actually going to be great because he found our second level magic, and he's going there probably far sooner than Krelen ever will, because who wants to make that trek?
Cheap silver 2s and the bracelets there, so that's great to see too.
That's a solid find. fryteeth gonna stock up and then go beat up on some pirates real fast. And sure enough, Krelen finding a lobster troll pack, and that's not good. They're probably gonna wipe him. But he manages to escape. Krelen opting to check the other trap tiles now.
So one downside of Krelen's routing there was going across the top, you end up hitting the same spike tile in that second position. If you're 1 square lower, you'll hit that second encounter type in the Hall of Giants. So not having that critical information of what the other encounter is at this point.
I did not know that, and I'm guessing Krelen also does not know that.
It looks like fryteeth picked up the bottle from Bicky.
With that airship in hand, we probably can deduce right now where that turn-in is going to be. That's going to be our vanilla on-rack.
So, black shirt -3. We are loaded for caster items this seed.
That was the thing that just hurt in their last race, was not having anything that can just do a lot of AoE damage. And here we are in coincide with 2 things that cast lightning and 1 thing that casts ice. So we got plenty of power that if we can just find something decent to get some levels on, Krelen's going to be taken off. fryteeth finding some T-Rexes. Unfortunately, it's like 20 levels too soon to find them.
You know, it's... Yes, but...
Vanilla Gaia. Never mind. So, on-rack is... Elflin. No.
Crescent.
Crescent. Sometimes I get confused. It's okay. And the housing market, not as cheap as last time, but still rather cheap. $9.18 a house, that's great.
Those Sphinxes are decent experience. It's just a matter of, surviving them, which the White Mage could not. I think that there were a couple levels picked up, which was helpful, but at the same time, we just didn't heal after that first encounter, and we haven't had the opportunity to take advantage of the heal 3 in time for that White Mage to survive.
Right. fryteeth turning in that bottle and getting an adamant from the fairy. He's probably likely gonna go check Mirage real fast and maybe see if he can get some decent grinds as well.
I think this is a desert tile check, seeing if we can get a sandwich grind going. Oh, no. Nope. Look real quick and leave. So Krelen going through Marsh right now. The big challenge to looking at Marsh at this point is we know that the incentive items in the Inner Sea have to contain both the ship and the canal. That means that there's a pretty decent likelihood that the ship and the canal are going to be somewhere between ice and marsh. Bert, saying exactly what I was thinking here is this could turn into something good. Like this could be a key into ship or a key into canal sort of situation. But we have to consider the possibility that the incentive in Marsh just might not be useful.
It could absolutely be useless to us. We know that it won't be a ruby because the ruby gives us access to Sarda, and Sarda gave us a power gauntlet. And
there's our canal.
Immediately. Well, that's not worth it. Still may as well touch a couple boxes, see if there's anything good in here. Krelen not taking the lower track, but finding a Tyro in a box. That's not a horrible find.
It's not a horrible find, but I don't think it's something that's killable at this point.
Well, we do have some nuke. We got a sun sword. We got a black shirt. We also didn't.
We have ties around. That's really the big thing. And getting the ambush there was a really big deal.
And we killed it.
fryteeth running over to the Circle of Sages here. We'll see what we get out of the friendly elderly folk. The key.
That's a great find.
So the key is always a huge find when you've got the black belt comp because it opens up several different spike tiles that you can check. And that can get you the early grind. But fryteeth going straight over to Waterfall. Let's get this on-rack continent out of here. We don't want to be here.
Krelen's gonna warp out because he did manage to take out that Tyro. He's gonna lock in the experience that he had and decide, yeah, Marsh is not for me today. He's probably gonna go check ice. Maybe. But I am really liking fryteeth's routing decision here. He is making progress. He's got a lot of knowledge, and all he needs is some gear and some weapons to make it click. It looks like Krelen now knows where the haiku is. Unfortunately, he does not have enough to pay the artist.
fryteeth just zooming through the waterfall here.
Absolutely. Finding a Frost Dragon tile. Now, this is a possible grind spot. Getting some TNT from the robot. Those Frost Dragons could, once he gets his team up a little bit stronger, could potentially be what he needs to kick off his grind.
These are some dangerous scorpions and bulls that came out of this box. Coming out with an ambush right away. Just going to town on fryteeth's party.
Oof, and I don't think fryteeth is going to be able to escape this one. Lightning 3 comes out. He's at least able to take down the scorpions, but those bulls are still standing.
You know, the bulls are they're not great, but they're
they are killable.
They are killable, and they're not hitting as hard as the scorpions were. So,
well, gets a silver bracelet +2 for free, and decides I'm out of there.
Nope.
Got what I need. Krelen making the early volcano play. Not a bad idea. Potentially got some grind tiles in here that he could absolutely take with that black shirt. He has free cast of ice. And not many things resist lightning, so he can just spam those and swing with that fighter and hope for the best.
I'm just getting a couple early peds here just to get some levels as well on the way over to the armory.
Stepping on the trap tile, finding a zombie dragon. That's a good find.
That is a good find. You know, it's potential, you know, decent grind. This is a danger square right here. This particular box could be very, very dangerous to Krelen right now.
Absolutely. fryteeth trading in his adamant for bacon. So we found a ruby. It's bacon.
It is the most delicious ruby we've seen in a long time, and I think that's a pretty fair trade.
And it's made of adamantium, so you'll know it lasts a long time. It will be quite tough, though.
Getting our explosive crown here, turning in the TNT to get the crown.
Just kind of fell out of the rock. Finding a mage staff +3. The plus part doesn't really matter, but we do have infinite cast of fire 2 now, which is arguably one of the more useful casting items to find.
So Danger Box, that was a 2 red D box that fryteeth just hit, and we'll need to go reclaim his bacon and his crown as a result. Vorpal +1 on Krelen's side, and a Light Axe +1. Excalibur +1. Okay.
Ice armor? Alright, so right now our volcano armory is loaded.
Yeah, this is a series of good finds. These rock goals, dying to the single nuke is great.
Look at those levels rack up. We are starting to finally get somewhere. Sadly, it was just a monster in a box.
You know, that's okay. We're able to exit out of here. You know, keep our finds.
So getting that bottle was key because that led us to the Oxy Ale eventually. Which is like French vanilla with a caramel swirl in it. And with that, we need 2 items on fryteeth's side, and he knows where one is.
If this was a hard reset, I think Krelen just found what to do for the next 20 minutes.
I hope so.
This is a sandwich station in a very safe landing zone.
It's beautiful. However, Krelen is one of the newer players to our community. And it looks like he's gonna see if he can keep proccing them, and he finds blue steak.
That's a little dangerous right now, but we'll see.
Try it. Oof, big hit on that red page, but because he has that extra vitality, he's still standing.
I feel like I'd be preemptively casting heal 3 with the white mage here, just to make sure that everybody stays, you know, relatively topped off. fryteeth running to Canaria key locked.
And
a slab.
Now that slab, because Lefane is in Crescent, could lead us to our ship.
I don't think so because Melmond is in Vanilla Melmond.
Melmond is vanilla. So
Life 2 in the 3rd slot.
Ship
So,
nice. Yeah, well, at least we do have a white mage.
yeah, I never remember which slots are Red Wizard promotion locked. Not that I think we'll see a promotion coming in this particular seed.
I
But,
definitely got it.
I think we're gonna just have that one life caster and we'll live with it.
So those T-Rexes seem to have had quite a little bit of HP. Not a whole lot off of the top, but they went down in like 2.5 rounds. So Krelen might end up going back to beat them down once it gets through ordeals.
Fryteeth, finding the good news of the excellent magic available in Elfland at Provoca.
Question from chat from Goats Pirate: how come Krelen has no items? Krelen has been doing a whole lot of searching and exploring, but coming up with not a whole lot.
Not really chasing after incentives is the main thing. We saw a volcano play and, a couple other plays just like looking for spike tiles in Earth, for example. So while Fryteeth has been gung-ho at every incentive location, racking up the progressive experience bonus for having those incentives, Krelen has been mostly focused on preparing to do all of the dives.
And we will see which of these tactics works out best in the end. But Gargoyles with Thunder, that's going to slow Krelen down immensely. And our slab turns into the Crystal. Fryteeth on the endless fetch quest. As he flies back to Matoya to see what she has. Oof, running into another pack of them. I don't think Krelen's going to get out of this one this time. This is indeed our second game between these two. If Krelen wins this one, that goes 2-0 over Fryteeth, and he moves on. However, Fryteeth wins, we're going to go to a game 3. And Fryteeth, Crystal getting a tail.
Not the incentive item that Fryteeth was looking for, I think.
No. Here's your eyeball back, lady. Oh, good. You could have this rat's tail I found. Gee, thanks. I hate it. But finding that T-Rex, if he can get through, it's going to find that they don't have a whole lot of health.
Yeah, Krelen representing Team Poison sound effects here. Fryteeth taking some T-Rexes. The blue stake is available and plentiful.
And I think he's going to be happy with it if his black belt lives. Nope.
That is the challenge some days.
We're going to throw our white mage up for a blade of armor. See if we can keep that black mage or black belt alive just long enough. Krelen about to find a rod in ordeals.
We have our crowbar. That is a required ordeals now.
Krelen down to just his fighter, trying to get out of here. Running into all kinds of regular gargoyles.
Good news. To the safe floor. And did not save before taking a step.
Into 4 sphinxes. When in doubt, save. Save always. And often.
It is always a good idea to save as soon as you exit the dungeon. That one step can and has led to tears. I know, I've shed them.
The worst step is stepping just after beating Kraken. That was nasty. Taking a step to go light the orb and then running into a water pack that just mows you down.
Been there. I've been there.
It's FFR, it giveth and it very much taketh away. Krelen making his way to the armor shop here in Gaia.
Those are some cheap pro rings.
And Pro Ring +2. This is a good place to be. So Krelen now has one key item over fryteeth, but not for very long. Fryteeth is working on a grind. And Krelen now trying to get some gears ready so he can go and start digging out dungeons. He already tried Marsh, found nothing. So it's likely he might decide to go to Ice. I don't see him going to go go into the Unrat continent to grab the TNT and the bottle or the key from the sages.
So these T-Rexes, while they are bountiful experience, are also really dangerous. We're seeing ambushes come out with Dazzle straight away to paralyze or stun the Black Belt. We're also seeing damage poison. This is a challenging grind, and I foresee a few resets. Now, the nice thing with anytime you're doing this sort of overworld grind, you have to save between, every 1 to 2 encounters, pretty much. Depends on how good your streak is. So you're never losing much, but, it can be very frustrating to have such a dangerous grind in front of you.
So, Fryteeth is decided for the T-Rex, and Krelen has decided for sandwiches. And the sandwiches are going to go down a lot faster, and you often get more than one. And they also don't have poison in their arsenal.
So, that's true. The downside of the sandwiches is that they have such low morale that you could be watching them just run away from you. And
we're watching a T-Rex show up and punch your fighter before you get a chance to blink.
So Nochibato in chat, sounds like comms are hoping for more nuke waters. I will say that nuke waters are a terrifying thing, and I was absolutely amazed that in Krelen's Temple of Fiends Revisited run last night, I don't think any of them got a nuke off.
No,
I think it was exclusively when they were in the Sea Shrine. Oh, was it Ordeals in the box?
Yeah, they were a trap tile in Ordeals, I think.
Yeah, so I'm not hoping necessarily for nuke waters because, they terrify me and I would feel bad. But, I mean, they do make for some good viewing from time to time.
With as fast as this seed has been, and, I mean, we're 30 minutes in. Fryteeth is coming up on level 24. He's almost ready to get that red mage to fall down and stay down and get all the way up to 42. He's got all but 3 items he needs to complete the game. This is fast. This is crazy fast. Whereas Krelen getting that early grind in, but here's the downside. He has far less of the items that he needs. And because of that, it's going to take him longer to get this grind completed. So, where it's going to take maybe 10 minutes for Fryteeth, it's going to take 15 minutes at least for Krelen.
Yeah, and certainly getting this grind started is the hard part. Once the Black Belt has enough MDEF to avoid the Dazzle, you lose a lot of that adversity that you see in this grind. The blue stakes are fantastic experience. I think it works out better time-wise to fight the blue stakes than it does to fight the sandwiches. And we even see that out of Krelen. Taking the steps to get the sandworm initially and then resetting immediately, not even taking that fight because he wants to move straight to the T-Rex.
Absolutely, and it will pay off more for him in the end. Unfortunately, the early item chasing that Fryteeth did, he's racked up another 35 experience percent increase. Those were words.
The other thing we're seeing out of Fryteeth now is that Black Belt is strong enough to one-hit these T-Rexes. So, or this one time. Just barely misses to make me a liar. But they're beefy enough, but at the same time, that black belt is putting in work.
Yes, our black belt is because he has the blessings he got. He's making him such a tremendous powerhouse that now that he's hit level 30, there's very little that's going to stop this black belt. And after doing the taboo and attempting some slight math on Twitch, fryteeth is working with an approximately extra 60% experience growth, whereas Krelen has 15-ish.
That is a very big difference. We are really, really quickly approaching the point where fryteeth has as many levels on that black belt as we have minutes into this seed. That black belt is 32 right now. And, these fights are very fast, and there we go. We have hit the tipping point. Very quickly, we will see fryteeth exceeding the number of minutes with his black belt levels, and that is a great feeling going forward in the seed for fryteeth.
Once fryteeth leaves here, I'm willing to bet he's going to sail over to Ordeals, go find that rod, and go down, buy the loot, and then start checking things. Sea Shrine would probably be my first stop.
Yeah, if I were to place a bet here, I would say that Sea Shrine is going to be where we find the cube, or rather, herb to cube, or something along those lines. There's always a chance that it's like herb to white shirt at this point. But
I'm wondering if it could be that. Yeah.
I think both runners are going to take that stand of as little as I can possibly clear out of sea and sky in terms of box checks. That's what we're going to go with. fryteeth dipping out.
23. fryteeth needs to go restock on supplies. That was his last house before he got to this level. No? Yes? There you go.
There was the question.
For a second, he's like, is he?
That looks like Raisin party members.
Yeah.
So I think fryteeth hit 37 and said, well, I got my next set of punches. I'm done.
I'm going to go find some fiends, punch him in the face, and we're going to go off. And as I mentioned, here he is, sitting down. He's going to go run through Ordeals. Quick high five, and off fryteeth is running. And he's encounter manipulating, so we are not going to see any fights from him on his way into Ordeals. He's very likely gonna take some of the fights in here, get those extra levels. Also give his party a chance to catch up and get some levels and spell charges so that when he takes them into Topher, they don't just fall down immediately.
Oh, he's taken the run straight away on this. I think the value proposition for the experience here is just low enough that fryteeth doesn't want to go with that.
Definitely. He might also find something in a box that he would rather punch down.
It looked like when it was just the single Zombie D, he was willing to throw a punch out with the black belt and run with everybody else and see what happened.
Exactly.
These Argoyles.
Just wiping his party before he gets a chance to do anything.
Well, the good thing is with the huge number of levels that we're seeing on that black belt, the MDEF is high enough that there's going to be a lot of resists, and then the plus 10 vitality for the black belt is also put the hit points up high enough that even getting a couple of thunders thrown at you isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. You can survive a lot of those.
Absolutely. The rest of your party, on the other hand, well, I mean,
well, here's another 7-pack.
Yeah, Now we're just gonna nope out of that. And fryteeth makes it through ordeals.
The dreaded Pillar 4 in the Pillar Maze. Yet again, the enemy of all runners.
You hate seeing it. Krelen still working on his grind. Again, it's slowing down now. Like he didn't even get a level off of that Tyro. Or T-Rex rather.
It's true. That progressive experience bonus that you mentioned is really coming into focus here. When we see Krelen slowing down at 31, not getting a level off of the T-Rex, but fryteeth was still getting levels as high as like 34 every fight. So that percentage bonus from each key item really is a huge deal here.
Krelen's hit 32, but he's gonna keep taking it. I don't agree at this point. I think at 32, I would probably decide, you know what, I need to go start chasing down some of these items. I need to pick them up. At the very least, I would go pick up the one item I know exactly where it is, and that's the loot out of what's on rack, but it's wherever it's at. Elfland.
The flip side of that, though, is we have a required Warmac, and when you've already got the party down, you may as well just get to the point where you're comfortable being done. I think that's kind of where Krelen's at mentally, is let's finish this out, let's get to the point where I feel comfortable with my black belt's damage, and still at that point where occasionally you don't connect enough hits on the T-Rex and you don't one-shot it. That's a little spooky when you're talking about a required Warmac situation.
Exactly. And if you decided to bet against me, it's time to pay up. Because fryteeth went to ordeals, went by his haiku, and here we are going down into C.
I would expect that fryteeth's routing choice is going to be to run straight down to Kraken, check the boxes on the way, see if it is possible to skip mermaids this seed. Krelen finally moving on to Provoca at Lefane. So
it's gonna be a big kick in the pants for Krelen, knowing that this was here the whole time, and it's gonna be a required item. So, or I think it was required. Hold on. We get the, well, no, we get the bottle, and then we get the ruby.
So, downsides there. The upshot is we are getting our magic finally, and Cure 4 learnable by both the red and the white mage is a big deal. So, that piece is good at least.
Cure 4 is one of the best spells to have. Because in battle, when cast, it will not only fully heal that party member, but remove any kind of debuff they've taken, such as poison, sleep. It doesn't remove stone, stun, all that gone. No worries.
The other big thing with it is just thinking about the black belt's hit point pool. You're not going to get anywhere with heal 3 or cure 3 on that, and heal potions right out. As much as I love heal potion strats, cure 4 is really the only thing that's going to keep up with the higher damage encounters, particularly boss fights that you're going to see in the Temple of Fiends Revisited. So having multiple characters able to cast it, and particularly with the red mage being actually more likely than the white mage to live through a lot of the stuff that's going on this seed, I think it's nice to see it there.
Absolutely, especially because it's a level 2 spell, which means we're probably going to get 6 charges on it in no time. And 6 charges of Cure 4, that's a lot of staying power. Krelen done with his time in Provoca. Gonna grab his bottle and go visit our Vanilla Gaia and turn it in for Adamant. Then we're gonna see him go turn that in for a wonderful, tasty strip of bacon. Or in his case, it'll probably be a ruby as well.
Krelen not big on the fun percent flags.
Well, he is using the Team Steak flag.
It's true.
And he might be... I think he's also using the multi-instrumentalist Sarah.
Okay. And the other thing is with the Ruby fun percent flag, because there are multiple drop-down options in that menu, you don't always end up with the same one between two runners on the same seed. Because somebody might just have junk food turned on, somebody might have just beverages turned on, or other minerals. So there's a lot of different options there. We could see something very different.
There's also that fourth one, which is everything.
Yep, and that's what I use. Fryteeth, getting the bad news, will have to go to Mermaid's side.
Yeah, but good news for fryteeth. He does have the key. So if we do happen to have a TFC incentive item, he can get to it. Krelen finding the adamant, warping out of Gaia, and on to dwarves to turn that in for the bad news.
Yeah.
But first, since I'm here, let's go punch Carrie in the face. Many times.
Taking the fastest incentive dungeon just out of proximity is not a bad idea. Fryteeth on the charge, headed to Kraken 1, while Krelen's making this dive into Volcano.
It's always a good idea. If you have the levels and the gear and you're confident enough, go ahead and knock out that nearby orb. Just take care of it. You don't have to come back to it. Don't have to think about it. Because having those orbs already done can give you the advantage when you need it most. And,
definitely true.
Fryteeth giving the one punch to Kraken, throwing a microwave at it. Kraken,
down goes Fighter.
Like a truck.
And down goes White Mage.
Okay, down goes Kraken. Woo!
Returning punches with punches. Down goes Kraken, gets the water orb lit.
And we're gonna pick up our two wonderful members and
get the spatula out.
just scoop them up. Warp out, drop a house, and go. Krelen doing a couple greed checks, seeing if we can find a ribbon. At this point, I don't know if a ribbon's really going to be helpful to find. A masa would be great, maybe. But arguably, we don't really need anything at this point. We just need to get our items, get to punching, and get out. Fryteeth finding waters. Remembering probably having some traumatic experience with those, deciding not to bother them. As Krelen is on his carry fight. Gonna just throw some nukes at it. Throw a punch. Our black belt's still not hitting nearly as hard as we would hope.
Like I mentioned before, because of the way that the black belt scales, you've got your crit percent, your number of hits, and your attack power all scaling off of your level. While the hit percent has a bonus, we don't have anything comparable for the attack, like raw value. So that's going to slow down, even with that increased hit percent chance. You're going to see lower numbers out of that black belt than you might expect for the number of hits that are coming out.
Krelen saying hello to the Hooray Dwarf, getting his ruby. Fryteeth finding the herb. We know that's going to lead us either to the cube, and fortunately, the herb turn-in's right here.
Yeah.
Or it's going to give us a white shirt.
Yeah, I will say I'm unsurprised that Bubbles was hiding the herb. Fryteeth doing the honorable thing, ending Bubbles. You say hi to Bubbles, you say bye to Bubbles, and then you get your herb.
Yeah. We go pick up the prince. Fryteeth is looking for the sweet landing spot. And he too is going to go punch down a fiend. Meanwhile, Krelen is with rod in hand, He's gonna go take on Earth. I really want a fun percent flag to change Rod to Crowbar. Please. Please, devs, make it happen. Or assorted tools. That would be an interesting one. Oh, look, I got pliers. Ah, vice grips.
You know, you say that, I feel like we need to actually throw that into the dev channel now.
I like it. Let's do it.
I will say also, though, that sometimes, no matter how good an idea is, it's just not going to happen. And my example for that is Monster in a Bat. We have Monster in a Box. We have NPC Guillotine. I suggested that anytime you use that NPC Guillotine to get rid of a bat that's on the map, that it throws out one of those Monster in a Box encounters. A lot of people liked the idea. A lot of people also said very mean things about me. But unfortunately, that's not something that the devs look to be pursuing at this point.
Instead of Monster in a Bat, all the bats are actually vampires. Or wizard vampires.
That was another suggestion that was thrown out.
And speaking of vampire, Krelen is through that vampire as if he wasn't even standing there. And fryteeth has his second orblet at 48 minutes and 55 seconds. And we are off to Earth?
Looks like.
And yeah, fryteeth is in go mode at this point. All he needs to do is punch Lich, go punch a dragon.
And a robot chicken, too.
Step over the robot. Rather, step through the robot. I think he's... This train that fryteeth is on, it's not going to stop. It's not going to slow down. It's just going to tunnel straight through our robot chicken. And when the dust settles, we'll just have two legs standing next to where the path was. Because this black belt leading the charge is just a beefy boy.
In the immortal words of Yahtzee Croshaw, I am a monster truck that walks like a man.
Krelen, for his part, he's doing quite well indeed. But the time that he took on his grind was significantly more than fryteeth. And Krelen is through Lich, probably a minute and a half ahead of fryteeth, as he's on his way to probably try and figure out where he needs to go next. I think he's headed to Onrat Continent. He's going to go check Waterfall, get his TNT, and head back down to Dwarves. He also hasn't been up here yet, so this is going to be his Crescent Lake find as well. And with that key, again, Krelen definitely feeling the pressure now.
Yeah, but the nice thing is that we're getting that much closer to go mode for Krelen. It's nice to have the grind done, but at the same time, we need the resources to move on, right? Here we see fast at level 6. It is locked out for the red mage. We're not going to be seeing that fast, so...
That's a sad find. And there's our key. Again, realizing, man, fryteeth could have been here already. Found the key. I'm behind. I'm late.
For a very important date.
Indubitably. fryteeth just finding all the encounters. He's barely gotten through this hallway, and he keeps... This is his 4th encounter already?
All of Giants, round 2.
Of course, we see Lich. Everybody wave to Lich. And
Hi, Lich.
Because he's gone.
Hi, Lich.
Krelen taking some gas dragon fights. Not a horrible idea, doing a walking grind, trying to get the rest of his team up.
I think this is a situation where Krelin's just throwing out the occasional punch with the black belt for single opponents and running with the rest of the party. You know, if you kill the single encounter, that's great. If you run away, good enough. But you know, this little bit of extra experience on the way is going to be helpful for the rest of the party, as you mentioned. And maybe it's the difference between living through and losing party members and losing that experience on the party members when you do have to face that required war mech.
Right. All right. So Krelen, seeing these monster in the boxes, he's actually gonna take them down and see what's in the box. fryteeth saw the monster in the boxes and said, "Nah, I don't. Whatever it is, I don't need it. It's not important enough."
I mean, short of a ribbon, there's really nothing that fryteeth could want at this point, because realistically, the black belt is not quite fully ribboned, right? There's not enough MDEF on that black belt because of the lower levels, because of that hit break point being earlier. But for the most part, that black belt is going to resist a lot of spells that could be coming out as you go through the Temple of Fiends Revisited. It would be nice to have a ribbon, but you know, I wouldn't go looking for it.
Required, right? Finding ribbon at this point would be beautiful to have, but I'm not going to stress over not having one. And at this point, I don't even need a weapon. My fighter, he's never going to promote. We're not looking to use our fighter. He's there to take a hit and fall down. And Krelen, with his TNT in hand, goes once again back to dwarves. That TNT is going to give us a crown. That crown's going to give us the Oxyale, and that's the key to our progression. Because that Oxyale will give us the herb, which turns into a cube. He doesn't have the Oxyale yet. But that crown is going to be a huge play. He's also going to take a trip into this armory here and get the bad news that there's just nothing in here.
This is just a case of predictive tracking. We knew it was coming.
Absolutely. Finding that 4 red D box, going, yeah, hey, this seems juicy. It's they're already covered in ketchup and they look crispy. So these are barbecue wings, right?
fryteeth, meanwhile, on the Bridge of Destiny, just got to get through the increased encounter rate that you see going over that bridge. But we are very quickly approaching our robot chicken overlord.
Hey, we got a katana +3. It does happen to roll a +3 when we have nobody to use it. Everybody, get your robot chickens in chat for our favorite robot chicken.
As soon as these nachos get out of the way. And this fighter.
Guys, just move! I got a date with the robot.
Krelen picking up the slab.
Slab is gonna be huge.
Well, insofar as it is a huge waste of time, because it turns into the tail at the end.
Yeah. But he's thinking, oh good, the slab. I know where Melmond is. I know where LaFane is. This is great.
Sound the bell, the fighter lived through the Warmech punch.
Wow. And stopped everybody but our black belt. Black MDEF. So high. And down goes Warmech.
Huge experience for the party here. That pushes the black belt up to 41. So we're getting those numbers up on the attack and the crit side.
By the time we visit Chaos, we'll definitely be over 42. Krelen treading the water that fryteeth has been about 20 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago, rather. And he's going to get the bad news here in a bit when he goes to Matoya. Both runners have skipped ice so far, which is great, because ice is a big old waste of time. That said, there's probably a beautiful 3-eye grind in there.
Well, who can know at this point, right? But at 57 minutes, about 45 seconds,
45.
There goes Fryteeth into the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Fryteeth turning in the crystal, getting the tail, realizing this has been for naught. He is going to make the cheeky early Mirage play, hoping that the cube is in here. Alas, we know better.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. I have bad news. That unfortunately it's just a tank top in here.
Yeah. It's just a war mech beater. And some sticks.
It is time to recite our haiku and get down into the proper levels of
Chat.
the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
If you have a good haiku, go ahead and post it now. In honor of the beautiful poetry being spoken aloud and watching a plate shatter away. I would do it, but much like the no math on Twitch, I do no poetry on Twitch.
That's fair.
I'm creative, I'm artistic, but I'm not that good. Krelen deciding to take some purple worm fights.
That's good experience if you can get it.
You
36. Yeah, 36, getting closer to that break point. There's a ribbon.
Oh, look, a ribbon. Goody.
Fryteeth making his way through the earth floor. About to see round 2 with Lich 2. I think it will last roughly the same amount of time as the first go around.
It's entirely possible that Lich 2 rolled lower than Lich 1 HP. Alright, everybody wave to Lich. Continue waving, because there he goes. And Lich living up to the name Speed Bump. Onto the carry floor. Let's see if carry 2 offers any resistance.
Agrimafacts, they live here.
Agamafact number 483. They make decent pets, which is why you often see them with red giants.
They are the doggos of the volcanoes.
Indeed, but they tend to be kind of bitey, so probably don't pet them. Just tell them what a good boy they are, and leave them alone.
We'll have socially distanced petting.
Socially distanced petting. I like it. It's called Nuke. Krelen making his way through Mirage, going to the greater than less than room. And
Fryteeth straight through carry 2, onto the water floor. The most dreaded of floors to me.
Absolutely. This floor, see, this Water Naga pack would have been terrifying last night. Tonight, it's really tame.
I mean, it's tame, but it's still a threat. Like, those waters,
There's
they
a
hit
lot of
real
them.
hard.
And they definitely do not pull their punches. Krelen finding another pro ring. Alas, it's too little too late. As Krelen rounds the last corner to the last door, to the last hallway.
Seafood Party Pack intercepting Fryteeth on the way to Kraken 2. It's always the downside of this floor is it's just so long. Like, more than anything else, there's so many steps to take.
Absolutely. The only the next longest floor, which is equally annoying, is the earth floor. Krelen realizing the cube isn't there, he is off to try and find it. Where is he gonna go?
The fryteeth side,
No,
Kraken 2,
he's going to ice.
we've got a nuclear out of Kraken 2 after a very nice attempt to use stun on the black belt. Stun is one of our power word sort of spells, so if you have less than 300 hit points, it works, as I recall. Obviously, the black belt has 3 times that and is just fine. But
What's
the nuclear did soften him up.
What is more impressive is our white mage lived through the nuclear.
Yeah, I said it right up front. That white mage is treading some dangerous waters here.
Absolutely. So Krellen making the gut wrenching play to go to ice because he hasn't been. He's missing one item. He thinks maybe it's in ice. Unfortunately, he forgets that he already found the canal. The only other thing that the inner sea could hold is a ship. So he's going to get down here, find a boat that he does not need, and realize he's wasted time and that his progression was via the crown.
We are starting to see some haikus coming out of the chat, which is always appreciated.
Let's see. Black belt punches all. Rest of party cheering on. Chaos reign done. Is done.
Okay.
I like that one.
Yeah. I don't know that we can read out the other one just because of our Restream partners' rules, but still very much appreciating the contribution.
And we appreciate Paradox refraining because of the fact that we end up with limericks, and I agree. Krellen does find some eyes. Looks like we did find our 3-eye grind in ice.
No, I think this was just a box.
Was this just a box?
Yep.
Just a box. Hey, a great box to find, no less. Unfortunately,
Here we see
it's on chaos.
fryteeth choosing to use the power gauntlet to power up here, casting Saber on the black belt. This is sort of the way to make up for that lower attack power from the lower levels, and you see it pays off pretty well. Big hits, 997 on that last attack, 980 here, and terminated. fryteeth finishing with an official racetime.gg time of when we get the finish button clicked. It was about 105 and 20 seconds, I think.
Racetime.gg room says 1 hour, 5 minutes, 18 seconds, with Krellen hitting the finish at 1 hour, 5 minutes, 26 seconds. Get your GGs in chat for these runners. We are going to a game 3, which they're going to be talking about here in a bit, and we're joined in the booth by the tonight's winner, fryteeth. GG, man.
Thanks.
GG fryteeth. So I think would you say it's relieving to have come to this seed and seen an early floater and all the mobility and all of the AoE right up front?
Yes. I mean, just having something at level 1 was a huge relief tonight.
This seed definitely seemed to be a lot friendlier than last night. You changed your tactics and you just went chasing down as many of the items as you could. And because you did, that gave you the giant boost to your XP growth. So when you finally decided to go grind down those T-Rexes, you were just flying through the levels. Why did you stop at 37, I think it was?
Well, with the extra, the black belt had an extra 20 hit percent, and I can't remember if that means you need to take it to 36 or 37 or 38. But you don't need to go to 42 because of that extra 20 hit percent.
I see. I'm still not sure about a lot of those breakpoints for the black belt and the fighter and all that. And we're also now joined by Krelen107
GG.
and rated by SpeedGaming too. Welcome everyone. We're just finishing up here, going through the interviews. Krelen, tell us about that early game. What was your going through your mind as you found that early floater, and what was your plan from that point?
Well, my first thought was, oh no. Idea was to get to that as quickly as possible and start exploring, find a grind spot. I found the T-Rexes, which was great, and I was praying that fryteeth hadn't found them, but it sounds like he did.
The fryteeth had actually found them earlier in the power cycle by going to the other side of the desert, the Lefane landing spot. Had them right as the first encounter instead of the second encounter where you were fighting them on the Ordeals side.
I didn't know they could spawn over there. I literally just saw that last night, and I was like, oh, hey, a great spot.
It was a good spot. The key difference, and I say that now realizing it's a great pun, was that fryteeth had far more key items, which gave him a significant increase when he went to do his grind. You started your grind sooner, but you had like 3 of the items, whereas fryteeth had 12 of the items and just flew past. He was done with his grind. He was at level 37 before there was even 37 minutes in the match. So it was
It's one of the best. That's amazing.
it was quite the play. We did see you decide to go into Ice Cave, and it broke my heart knowing that you had gone and found the canal and marsh, and the only thing left in the inner sea that you could possibly find would have been the ship.
I was trying to figure out what the heck I was missing, and I'd forgotten I had the crown. I was like, what's going on? I can't figure it out. It's got to be an ice den, but I was trying to calculate in my head like what could be in the inner sea, and I was like, well, I can't remember. I couldn't remember where everything was, and I was trying to remember if it could have spawned in. The ship might have been in like Water Temple or something, because I thought that it was because it was water. The Water Temple was over in Elf Town. I was like, is it there or is it over here? And I couldn't remember. So I went for it. I mean, I thought I was close, but yeah, if he blasted ahead of me, that was an amazing time.
It was definitely quite a zoomy seed. Yeah, I wish I had more questions for either of you. But I'm still trying to catch up with how quick this seed went. I think we saw nuclear out of one of the fiends, and what were your thoughts when you saw that, fryteeth?
Well, it was when the white mage went down to 3 HP. That was a good feeling that the white mage survived. But then Tier 2 took the white mage down, and it really didn't matter.
Speaking of that white mage with 3 HP, the starting blursings that you guys had, what made you guys decide to draft what you drafted? We'll start with fryteeth.
So I decided to change it up tonight. I gave Krelen the first pick. I went first last night and decided I needed to try and change it up after last night. And when he went fighter, there was a part of me that was thinking about going double mage and just running with the fighter. But when I saw the plus 20 hit percent on the black belt, I couldn't pass that up because now not only is the black belt going to do all that damage, but the grind's going to take even less time than usual.
Right. The black belt also had an extra 10 vitality, so he was going to get tanky very, very quickly. Krelen, what was your thoughts on your draft picks?
Same thing. figured he was gonna pick the black belt like immediately because of that 28%. And I was like, okay, I want something to take a hit. The white mage had like no health, but that could have been fixed later on, which kind of happened for me. I just was missing those 2 items, and my grind was just far slower than his.
Indeed. I'm looking at the listings for the thief. Why did you decide on the white mage over the thief instead?
It had luck. I think it was plus 10 luck on the white mage. I was like, it's good enough.
I guess good enough is decent, provided that the white mage would stay standing. That minus 30 HP and minus 10 vitality basically kept it paper thin the whole run. I'm out of questions after that. Saracen, do you have anything for them?
I think largely covered from my perspective as well. GG's to both of you runners. It was good commentating another match. Looking forward to game 3 coming up. Looks like tomorrow?
Yeah, same time tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, I guess I'll have to get myself signed up for that so I can be here to watch the amazing race that you both put on. Yeah, I guess we'll move into final thoughts. fryteeth, you are now 1-1 in this. What are your thoughts going into a game 3, which I think might be the first game 3 of the spring tournament?
Just after last night, felt good to get back into it tonight, and looking forward to it tomorrow. And good luck tomorrow.
Awesome. Krelen, how about you?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm just once again happy to be here. No matter what, I'm coming out swinging. I thought I did my best tonight, which was not my best, but I mean I forgot I had the crown, but a little bit better than last night. I remembered a new grind. I got myself to where I wanted to be, and I'm hoping to do the same tomorrow, and we'll see what happens.
Great. I just want to thank everybody here at SpeedGaming for helping us put this on. Life Reboot with his first tracking job of the night, doing a fantastic job with the notes and tracking. And thanks again for Saracen to help co-coms with me. And Saracen, I'll leave it to you to take us home.
All right. Well, this has been another match in the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament 2021. This is the round of 16. We'll be starting the round of 8 next week, I believe, which is very exciting. If you liked what you saw here, come join us on the Discord. You can get to the Discord by going to finalfantasyrandomizer.com and just click that Discord link. We have a very friendly community, and we are in the swing of things with the new Duckling Bootcamp. So if you wanted to learn how to run this randomizer, meet all of the great people, figure out all the tips and tricks, the Duckling Bootcamp is a fantastic program. I think everybody in here has been part of it at some point, and it is a great tool for learning the randomizer. Again, thank you to SpeedGaming for hosting, Life Reboot for our tracking, Nightmare Phoenix as my co-com, both of our runners, fryteeth and Krelen. Thank you all, and have a wonderful evening.